farm and nothing teaches you more about death than trying to keep sheep alive. They keep dying because we keep eating them. My name's Marjolein, and it's so exciting to be here because I'm from Shetland, the tiny Scottish islands way, way, way up in the north. So far north that at midsummer it never truly gets dark. And as the nights draw in the autumn, the sea still sparkles because it's full of bioluminescent algae that we call mareel. And then in the heart of winter, in the longest, darkest nights, there's still colour in the sky because the northern lights dance across the horizon. But it's so exciting to be here because you guys have Asda. Imagine that. I grew up on a farm on a small croft where me and my brother would play in the hills, swim in the sea, pull back the flesh on a tourist's head to see the colour of the skull beneath. Pink. Fresh bone is so much pinker than you can imagine. We also used to play a game that I really loved, but I've been told it's categorically too dangerous and it'd be irresponsible for me to tell you how to play it. But I think, if anything, natural selection is taking too long. So here it is. The game we play is called pitchfork. Me and my brother would stand 2 feet apart because that's all we had left over from the tourist. And we'd take a pitchfork and we'd fling it in the air like, whew, and then we'd stand there like this. And the first one to move loses. But if you move too slowly, you also lose and have to go to hospital. We had to stop playing it because a couple of years ago, my dad caught us and he was like, "No! You'll damage the prongs!" But it's nice. I think even though I lived in Shetland on a small island, we have very similar developments in our life. Like nowadays, we all tend to learn about the miracle of life in the comfort of our own living rooms through a rectangle. The difference might be that your rectangle was a television, the miracle of life was a zebra giving birth in the Serengeti, and it was narrated by Sir David Attenborough. For me, the rectangle was the window. The miracle of life was my dad with his arm inside a sheep. And it was narrated by my mum saying, "Why is he wearing his best shirt?" Because I grew up on a farm and nothing teaches you more about death than trying to keep sheep alive. They keep dying because we keep eating them. I travel from place to place, and in your schooling system from the age of 5, I'm finding out that you guys didn't do nautical studies. Like, how'd you get around? Like, genuinely, at school, I got my level 1 seamanship. In every orify. But genuinely, we do this in school in Shetland. We get our subjects in Nautical. For example, I can identify ships at night. I'm like, "Oh my God, it's a boat and the sun's gone to bed." I can also identify flags at sea. I'll be like, "Oh, a red flag, that means there's a strong riptide, or he's gaslighting her." And I think it's hard when I tell you about Shetland because I am talking about my home. Like, everything I'm telling you about is true, and you keep laughing at me. But sometimes I think people don't believe my stories from home because they're too idyllic. Like, I want to tell you about this time we had a party in Shetland in a shed, and I can't say whose shed it was for legal reasons. So I'll use the family nickname of Dad. And it was a very fancy party because we had this amber flashing disco light because Dad had left the hazards running on the tractor. And we're in the shed and we're dancing, we're drinking, we're lambing a sheep. And my dad bursts into the party and he's a bit drunk, he's a bit carried away. And as we've all done ourselves on a night out before, my dad accidentally shoots my cousin in the arse with a gun, just And my cousin fell down face first on the ground, and I ran up and I turned him over, and his eyes were all glassy because he's wearing glasses. And I was like, Robbie, are you okay? And Robbie, my cousin, he just sat up. He didn't even feel the bullet in his left arse cheek because at that point, it was 3 a.m, so he'd been drinking for 7 years. He's a big, strong 14-year-old boy. But I told this story recently. It's a true story. And at this gig, a lady came up to me afterwards and said, I really loved your stories. I just found them a tad unbelievable. It was unbelievable because it seemed a bit far-fetched how you just obviously invented this entire island. I was like, Shetland is real. Where are you from? She said, London. Specifically Mayfair. It's like, well, I know that's not real because that's from Monopoly. Also, if you're worried about my cousin Robbie, don't be. It took another 3 bullets and we finished him off. No, he's fine and we're married now. Thank you, everybody.